The Boys and Girls Clubs of the PD area have set up a lot of fun for the summer, but they're here today to talk about fundraising. Learn all about it coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Myrtle Beach Herald in its conference room and its new offices at 4806 Northgate Boulevard in Myrtle Beach. We're focused on the Boys and Girls Clubs of the PD area, and we're visiting with its Director of Operations.
Good morning.
Decar Brown, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks. You got to get up early to get down here at 7 a.m. Thank you for coming down. A lot going on in the PD area.
Yes, it is. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. The PD area, the Boys and Girls Clubs, is a three-county principal focus there.
Correct. We service kids in Florence, Darlington, and Hartsville. Also in Chesterfield counties also.
So a lot happening. Three good-sized counties there, and a lot of kids in those in the counties.
Most definitely, and those are just three areas that we service kids. I mean, there's other areas in the PD area that need us also.
I think you mentioned earlier before we started filming, there's even opportunities or folks looking in other areas to possibly join.
There have been some meeting of interest in Marion County and also Dillon County. Yes.
Tremendous.
Yes.
Golly, this is a constant need. I think you and I talked about it earlier. Don Hall was with us a couple of months ago, highlighting one of their big activities. And of course, when you hear about everything that happens within the Boys and Girls Clubs, it is whether the Grand Strand or the PD area, y'all are going nonstop all the time.
Yeah, we are, and I'd like to give some kudos to Don down here in Myrtle Beach, because like I said, he's doing some great things. I know he's taking this organization to higher heights. Also, like I said, in the Florence area, we're just trying to make the Boys and Girls Club one of the premier youth organizations.
Right. 7 clubs
Yes.
in the 3 counties. For viewers who may not be familiar with the Boys and Girls Clubs, Decar, just give us a little sense of what the Boys and Girls Clubs of the PD area is all about.
Well, truly, we want to be a youth service organization. That's truly what Boys and Girls Club are. We don't just serve boys, we don't just serve girls. We want to serve young people, like I said. And our focus is on basically 5 core areas, which is health and life skills, the arts, sports and fitness, and character leadership development, and education and career development. And in every one of our programs that we implement throughout our clubs, we try to have a focus of those 5 areas.
Health and life skills. I know I got the first one out there.
Health and life skills.
Right.
And what a health and life skills would be, a cavity-free dental program. We'll bring in somebody. There's some good stuff through our national. The Crest Foundation has donated some stuff with our clubs. We come in and teach young people how the proper way to brush their teeth.
Right,
Yes.
right. That's very important.
Yes,
Absolutely. What was that second one you mentioned?
Okay, it would be the health and life skills. It would be the arts, of course, which is self-explanatory. That's visual, performing arts, and any type of art. Then you have sports and fitness.
Right, sports and fitness.
Education and career development.
Education and career development.
And this summer, I think most of our clubs are going to put a lot of heavy emphasis on that education part and the career development part.
I bet they are.
Yes.
What ages are, and then the 5th one, I'm sorry, education and career development, sports and fitness.
Sports and fitness, education and career development.
I'm sorry, you normally just recite them, health and life skills, arts, sports and fitness.
Would be career and
career development. I'm sorry to put you on the
That's all
spot.
right, no
You got them a second ago. If any viewer was watching a minute ago, they heard all 5 of them. You know, as we think that through, the arts are so, I mean, that really is important. We think about the visual arts.
Arts is, I mean, it's funny not being an artsy guy, as I like to say that. But it's amazing to hear how the performing arts and the arts portion of any young person, how the impact it have on the influence of math and science. There's some correlations of when a kid perform well in the arts, how they perform well with the arts, I mean, in math and the science. So I think arts is a must.
That is critical. And as you say, there are a lot of kids who probably think, I'm not artsy, I can't get anything out of that. But the Boys and Girls Clubs really open the window for them.
It is. I mean, one of the things we try to do is there's something in the club for everybody. I mean, that's the unique thing about our clubs. I mean, if you don't like the gym area, which we do have most of our clubs, well, 3 of our clubs have larger gym, which is a pool for kids.
Oh, yeah.
Our game rooms is a major hub for kids to come in. Yeah, I want to be a part of the game room or the gymnasium. Right. What about the young fellow or the young lady that all I want to do is have an area to read a good book.
Yeah.
To work on the computer. You know, so each one of our clubs have at least 10 internet accessible computers.
Is that right?
Yes.
Each of the 7 clubs have at least 10 internet accessible locations.
Right.
That's tremendous.
Yes.
That's probably one of the advancements. There's probably not a lot of Boys and Girls Club units around the country that can claim that.
Well, one of the things, we get national support from our corporate office, which is in Atlanta, and that was one of the movements they pushed for a couple of years ago. We were trying to grow our movement,
right.
And one of the things they did wanted to make sure all clubs had at least 10 computers. Now, most of our clubs have probably 15 to 20,
right.
But National made a strong push that if we're going to serve young people, we got to give young people things they want to do in computer technology and all that kind of stuff in the computer realm. Kids enjoy doing it, yes.
Well, there's so many more aspects that we want to highlight about the Boys and Girls Clubs, the PD area, but if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family out of the house, what's the best phone number for someone to call to learn more about the Boys and Girls Clubs of the PD area, or a good website, since we're talking about the web?
They could use our website, which is bgcpda.org.
Okay.
Which is our PD area's website.
Right.
And our phone number is 843-662-1142.
Okay, 843-662-1142. And even if someone called right now, 7:15, and someone wasn't there, they can leave a message and get some information, or Decar may be rolling. If you weren't here, you'd be rolling in there. Yeah.
I tell you what, at 7:15, if you wait 15 more minutes, I know at least in the Florence Club, there are kids waiting to come into the club for the summer program. So they call it 7:15. Somebody should be picking up that phone.
That is tremendous, Decar.
That's only in the summertime.
Yeah. But even in the school year, and that helps highlight one of the aspects there. It is year-round.
We do run a year-round program.
Right.
Our summer program runs from 7:30 in the morning till 5:45 in the afternoon.
Wow.
Our school year program will run from 2 until 8 o'clock at some of the clubs.
Is that right?
All
that
day,
late?
any half a days, we're open for kids. Like I said, our job is to be accessible for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That is tremendous. And what are some of the things, you highlighted the gymnasium there, the access to the internet, and that is not unfettered access to the internet. I mean, that is still, there's certain site kids just can't get into. And there's going to be some kind of oversight of those websites and otherwise.
Most definitely.
Yeah, sure.
We have some filters in place, but if you know about filters, a good computer person could probably get through some filters, but we don't depend on just the filters alone.
Right.
I believe we have some of the best part-time staff available to work with our young people, because truly we believe it's not the program that we offer that make the impact on young people's life. It's truly the person that you put next to that young person that makes the impact, because we want that kid need to know that Mr. Brown cares about them, and so oftentimes if I see a kid, and I don't get a chance to work with kids as much as I used to, being a director of art, but you always want to go to the kid and ask them how's the day going. No matter what time of day it is, what time of the morning, how's your day, how things going, and building those personal relationships with young people. That's where the impact. And then you can get that young person, once you build that personal relationship, then you can get them to do, why we ain't doing better in the school? Why we ain't doing better in our community? What can we do to help you improve those things? So yes.
That is tremendous. Speaking of that, if there are ever any viewers who'd be interested in getting involved with the Boys and Girls Clubs of the PD area, in addition to possibly donating their dollars or donating their services, their time, I mean, are you looking for volunteers ever?
Always look for good people to come in our clubs. I mean, and of course, in this day and time, we do have a strenuous background check thing. I mean, we got to keep in mind, we work with young people who I think is some of our precious jewels that we have. So we do have a strong background check type situation. If once a person fulfills that obligation, yes, there's opportunities for them to do any type of program.
Speaking of that, what would be some of the qualifications that a viewer would need to have to be able to volunteer if they were coming in there? Surely as the director of operations, you see a lot of the ones that interface with kids. There's probably some office or administrative duties around, answering the phones, doing stuff like that.
Especially in most of our clubs that somebody can bring a specialty type thing. Somebody let's use audio taping, digital camera, photographers and stuff like that. Anybody can bring some special talent, and you don't have to have just that specialty talent, but just a person to have a passion working with young people. I mean, the impact, you'll see somebody reading with a young person, to improve reading skills. They tell me the more that child can read to you, or the more you can read that child, you can improve the reading levels.
Really?
So any opportunity that you can work one-on-one with kids, or if you had a program. I mean, we believe at Boys and Girls Club we have some of the best programs in the world, but we do understand there's some other good stuff out there that we will partner up to utilize with them. So yes.
That is tremendous. That is tremendous, Decar. We think about how someone first gets involved in volunteering or first gets involved in working with children? What opened the door for you to get involved with the Boys and Girls Clubs of the PD area?
Well, that's a good one. I guess I just have the desire to help others do better too. I mean, I think that's what it's really all about, helping others. I've had the opportunity to, through my past education experience, my college career, to go and visit different places and to understand that for me to do better as a person, I need to help somebody else do better. And that's truly in every position I've ever held, not just with Boys and Girls Club, but just in life. It seems like I've always been guided to jobs where I'm helping someone. And the joy that you get from seeing a young person or anybody do a little bit better. I mean, that's the challenge I present to kids all the time. Do better. Even my own kids, I mean, do better than I did. And with my kids, we've set the bar pretty high. Yeah. I mean, we believe in, that, first of all, for most of our kids that we serve, we believe that we can help get them to a higher situation education-wise, and higher education. That's going to be a pretty decent bar. But we also understand that education is one piece of that pie. You got to do some other things, so that's all it's about, setting that bar so they can kind of achieve it.
That is tremendous. Speaking of that, how is the Boys and Girls Clubs of the PD area funded, Decar? Is it government funding? Is it private funding? Is this through donations? How are you all funded?
We are strong recipients from the United Way, first of all.
Great.
United Way is a great partner. I mean, we appreciate what the United Way do. We have a great board of directors, which give personal dollars, and government funding. Our administrative staff is always looking for ways to fund our clubs, and not just our clubs, programming for our young people. When we look at the different grants and opportunities, our number one goal is always, first of all, is this taking us away from our mission? And second of all, are we going to still be able to serve young people? I mean, so we get governmental dollars, private donations. I mean, I remember we used to get a couple of dollars from somebody, from one senior citizen, and she would come by every month to drop us off a check. And I tell you what, that makes the difference. I mean, the more of those kind of dollars you can get, those kind of dollars from individual dollars, those are the dollars that will sustain a club, because government grants run out.
They do.
And United Way dollars get cut sometimes, but in this economic hard times, the individual dollar is which will sustain your clubs.
So you'd be happy for a viewer to pop on by, either to see you all, to learn more about the clubs, or even to bring a few dollars by, or $100 by, whatever they can bring by.
Anything they can bring would be grateful. We're thankful for it. But I tell folks, I strongly believe that if a person come into our club, because a lot of times there's a misperception of what you do at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, sure.
If they come by our clubs and meet some of our young people, you can't help but to give, because those kids and what we try to do with those kids at the club, it makes a difference. And most people, if we can get them in our club to see what we do, we think we got us a pretty good donor.
That is tremendous. What is a viewer going to see if they come by during the school year? If we're thinking about the 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock potentially, are the programs any different during the school year than in the summertime?
The program don't change much in reference to what we try to do. I mean, you figure you go from maybe let's say a 2 o'clock at our Florence Club. You will see, it's funny because you'll see probably the Florence Club 100 little ones from 6 to at least probably 12 years old. So you're talking about first a kindergartner through 6th grade come into the club. First thing we try to do with them is get them something in the stomach. So we do a snack program
for 100+ kids.
100+ kids.
You are kidding.
We do a snack program because we want. And we know it is really just a snack, but we know sometimes that might be the last meal that child might be getting. But we try to give them a snack. Then we'll take them into a gym area to try to give them some downtime, to run around and play. And then we try to refocus them again into some of those health and life skills, the arts, those type programs. Homework help is a big one at most of our clubs. We understand that with the technology in place and some of the staff we have in place, that one-on-one homework assistance is always a big one. We do hire a lot of college students, and we're assuming that those young people can help other younger persons with homework and stuff like that.